What's up, guys? We're gonna brobeatz. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make a vlog style hip hop beat. If you guys haven't subbed already, I'll turn performance do so because it'll help it a lot. So let's hop right into it. So BPM just the default, you can kind of give or take wherever you want to go with that. And for the scale, now for this style, usually a major would do. So we can just do like a C major to start off. And we only got 2 sounds today. We don't need that much. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this is the VST that I'm using, Stratus from Shreddage 3. This is the preset. And basically you want to put this poly input up slightly a bit, and on strumming, turn this preset on and you should be good to go. So let's go in here, and really for this style, you don't need much. You just need 4 nice chords, or it doesn't have to even be 4, it could be 2, but I'm gonna use 4. And we can just start on the root, right? And then pretty much we can just make a chord backwards, and that could be our bass line, and then we could just fill in the blank somewhere. So that's the bass line. And then from here we can just kind of trickle these down however we like. Probably do something like this. Then quantize it. Okay. So from there, right, we just make the chords according to the note that we have. So usually you want to go, you don't want to just do triads, you want to go farther than that. So at least a 7th. If you don't want to make a 7th, you can come up here to stamps, click 7th, and you'll be able to make a 7th chord, okay, minor or major. So we'll do it from scratch. So skip this note, place, skip that note, place, skip that note, place. You can go as far as you want. We could do one more, skip that note, place. Then you can add other notes. Okay, maybe try. All right, and then over here, same thing. Skip this note, place, and I'm gonna just go ahead and do this same thing all the way through. Then same over here. I'm gonna add one note up here. Let's keep this same rhythm, the same like note going. And then over here, let's see what this sounds like. Okay, and then over here, I'm gonna copy it and pull it down an octave. Okay, so those are our chords right here. And next thing we need to do is add some key switching just to kind of make it sound a little bit better. All right, so now we need to add key switches. Now this is very important. You can take everything I'll show you in this video way farther. You can do it, make it more complex, but this is the first time I'm kind of like really showing this stuff. So I'm not gonna go too crazy, but the key switches are like these colored areas on the keyboard in Contact or any VST that has them. If you want to map them your own, you go here, and you can kind of map the key switches how you want. So I already kind of, I'm used to these, so I kind of know which one. So if you go about 2 octaves up or 2 octaves down from the C5, you'll kind of hit the key switches. So what I want to do is do like a strumming pattern. So basically I'm gonna use it. All right, so we can use this, and I'm gonna go ahead and just make a little pattern. And I'm gonna just do one real time right here. And it's pretty easy, just kind of like flip flop, right? It's like you're strumming it like an actual guitar, and then just pull it back. Simple as that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the rest. All right, so here are the key switches. Okay, nothing too crazy. I'm just using the half beat grid, and then I just copied it over. Okay, so now the second set, what we need is we can play it right without using a second instrument. So basically, if we go up one more octave, you can kind of get to the notes that will play it. So literally, if you just go up an octave, it'll play the notes. So I'll just show you. Right, it'll kind of play the notes in the chords. Real quick, I'm gonna just do one real time just for you, and then kind of fast forward. So I think we can start maybe right before. You know, I think that's fine. And then let's just pull this over. It doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to chop it up anyway. So basically just do that. Just play around with the rhythms and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish this out. I'll just copy this over. Okay, so this is what I have over here. So let's just play it. I really like this part specifically, but it's not perfect. Obviously I would need to do some velocity stuff, and I might do that later off camera just because it's just such a tedious thing to do. But yeah, the melody is done. Let's go ahead and add our bass, and then we can get to kind of chopping it up. All right, so I went ahead and edited the velocity. So this is what it looks like down here, if you can see. And pretty much all I did was just go to tools, randomize, and you can kind of mess with the release and velocity. And I usually just keep it on this. You can change the seed if you want. And I'm gonna exit to go back. And then after I do that, I just kind of edit and tweak certain ones that I like. And then I'll like offset, as you can see right here, offset this one a bit, and just tweak it so that some of these shine a bit more. So yeah. So for the bass, we could just take this, like literally, like I said, I don't want this part to be too crazy, and just pull it down an octave. And then all right, so that's the bass. Simple as that, nothing too crazy. It's literally the same exact VST. So let's go ahead, and now we can kind of chop it up. All right, so what I'm gonna do is basically turn this into a sample. So I'm gonna make this part as easy as I can because this can get crazy. So I'm gonna try to keep this simple and somewhat generic, so it's not like, because when you're doing sampling and stuff like this, it could get really messy because you got a lot of samples you pull in, and you're trying to, you know, change the pitch and all this stuff, right? So basically put our pattern here, right click, consolidate this track from the start, click start, let it do its thing, and now we have a sample. All right, so there we have that. So now we can kind of move on to the next step. All right, so now what we're gonna do is reverse it. So I'll just reverse it, and then I'll just play it just so you can hear it. Right, honestly, we could start chopping and doing stuff here, and we could use this as a melody, but let's just go ahead and we can click here, and we can go to chop, and then we can go to time based and chop in bars. And then from here we just chop in between. I don't know why they don't have a chop for this, but you know, it is what it is. And basically, since we reversed it, if you look, everything in the front kind of flipped to the back. So we need to take everything in the back and pull it to the front, just like this, right? Like literally like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so now that we have this, I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Right, and you don't have to do all this, but the point is just so you can get something kind of random and crazy that you can kind of mess with when you kind of go ahead and, like, I guess, sample your own melody. So what we want to do now is double click and turn the pitch down. So I'm gonna just do like, we could just do 3. You can do as much as you want. And then we're gonna right click, consolidate this into its own sample. All right, so there's that step. Let's move on to the next. All right, so now we are ready to chop. So basically what we have to do is go here, chop, time based, chopping beats. I usually do beats because it's just the easiest. So what you do now is hold Alt and right click. And you just kind of find some samples that you like. Okay. Then what I like to do is go to grid and go to 1/3 for this, and then pretty much you could just play around with the sounds. And this is kind of like a pattern you can use. And then we chop this down, do something like that, and we can mute. Something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try to find some real quick, and I'll come back and show you what I made. All right, so this is what I came up with, and these are the samples that I chose to use. Just something quick, and I believe actually this one too. All right, so out of this whole thing, these are the ones that I chose just to make this quick. So I'll just play it real quick. And then just repeat it. All right, so pretty simple. So now we just need to add our drums. Now let's go ahead and add our sub bass. So if you click here, when you load this up, this is a stock plugin, by the way. You put all these to 0, okay, and it'll just be like a subby bass. Okay, so let's go in here, and since we started on C major and we went down 300 cents for our sample, we need to go down 3. So 1, 2, 3. And here we can kind of start our bass line. And then you can kind of use some of these notes. So we could try as B. And let's just keep it basic. And let's see if that sounds good with this. Okay, I like that. So we're gonna keep that bass, and let's go ahead and fill in these drums. All right, so now it's time for the drums, and basically this is pretty simple. It's just a lot of layering and just putting sounds in like their own place. So that's why I have some of these sounds, so you can like layer some of these and then just put some of these sounds kind of like in their own little place to kind of get a little bit of bounce. Right, and that's how you get the core sound. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this and just fast forward just a little bit so you can at least see what I'm doing. All right, so here are the drums. I fast forwarded through that because, I wanted to make sure everything sounded good. So these are the drums. I'll just play them bare bones. All right, and then the last thing that I have down here is just like some ambience. Right, and then we do need to do some mixing, but hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. We can go ahead and Alright, so last thing real quick, what I'm gonna do is just add some effects just to kind of give it some character. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some effects and show you what I added after. Alright, so real quick, just for some effects, for my kick I just put it in mono, and then just boosted it just a little bit. And then for my actual melody here, I put sketch cassette on. This is just for like the aged sound, just so it sounds a little bit more like a sample. And then I put Valhalla Supermassive for some ambience, and this is the default preset. I just put it down to 36%. This is what it sounds like. Okay, nothing too crazy. And then on the master, I put Life X on there and just this drum glue preset. Okay, just to kind of tighten things up. And then I put EQO on. This is a very underrated plugin, and basically I just boosted the sub a bit right here, and then around here is where I kind of boosted that kick, so it has a lot of punch. And you can kind of be free to like go as high as you need because we do have soft clipper on, so it will kind of control those peaks if it does. So I kind of went a little crazy with this, and then right here I kind of boosted like the clap or the snare range, and then kind of those hi-hats right here. Okay, and this is what it kind of sounds like all together. Alright, and that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.